Hey, so what's going on everyone, and today I'm going to be going over some of my stabilisation techniques, purely just using the camera alone and what the camera is giving you. So most cameras you have nowadays, they have the strap with it as well, and that's pretty much all you need. Also, I'm going to go through just a couple of little budget things where you can use to make that a little bit more of a difference and just make it a little bit easier to film. So what do we need for that? Random location, little object to film, random person, so QB roll.
Okay, so the first common technique is literally strap around, both hands on the camera, 3 points of contact, simple. Okay, with this technique I found myself quite limited on a few things, so I tend to like to do this one a bit more, where I wrap it around my arm and have the 3 points of contact, but it's just around the top of my arm, and you still get the same sort of stability, but I find myself able to get like some really cool angles. I can angle the camera a little bit more and it's just a little bit more comfortable and easier to move. Okay, so when you're actually moving with the camera, this is where most things can actually go wrong. So as you can see here, really take really slow sort of movements, almost as if you're acting like a ninja, and you're going to get really smooth footage. Okay, so the question is, how have you been working on your squatting? Just because this little technique here is going to get some really crisp sort of up and down shots. You're just taking out the factor of moving around and moving your hips too much, and then you're just going to get some really smooth footage from doing this. Okay, so I call this one the human slider. Just get a really nice wide stance. I'm quite tall as well, so I'm cheating maybe, but this is going to mimic what you can do with a slider, just a cheaper way of doing it. Just move from side to side and you're going to get those really crisp shots. Okay, so when you're actually doing the shots where you're moving backwards and forwards, this is where a lot of things can go wrong and you can get like quite unstable footage. So I'm trying to find different ways of like trying to move across the floor but at one single plane without causing too much movement. So what I try and do is try and walk from heel to toe, and this is like a ninja sort of way of doing it, and you're just going to get those ninja smooth sort of shots. Yeah, give it a little bit of practice and I promise you're going to get some smooth footage from it.
Right, so I mentioned at the beginning some budget things that you can use that are going to make a hell of a difference, and this is being one of them. And I don't know why, only recently I've only got this. It's a Gorilla Pod. It's the not as long, there's a longer one than this, but this is also just as good. Obviously everybody knows you can put it in all different ways, tie it up wherever you want, and it's really good at acting as a tripod, but you can also use it as a good stabilizer. If you hold this with two hands and have your camera strap around your neck and hold it out like this, it's strong enough to be able to take that stability, and it does make a difference to making your shots. Right, so that's the video then, guys. Hopefully you picked up some nice little stabilization techniques there you can use, and pretty simple, low budget, just using what you pretty much have already, and it is achievable. But I'll also be going through some post-processing stuff you can do as well. So if after all that you still haven't got stable footage, there are stuff you can do to rescue it in a nicer sort of way with tools you have in Premiere Pro or any other video editing software. Okay everyone, so I'm about to go on my bike now. I'm freezing, so's Leighton. We need to go back now and get some food. So please give me a like and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button as hard as you can. Please, it's going to be a really big help. I'm going to go back on the bike now. Cue the ending credits.